Do you think you have problems teaching? This is 1/3 of the experimental kit needed to teach cosmetic science in the UK. Of course, you only see a few ingredients here because many of the other ingredients you can buy from the shelves. They're already in your kitchen or your bathroom. You don't need to send those materials. They've got them already in the home. This is the actual perfumery kit. Notice the cassette tape. That's probably out of date now. It could have been a CD. It doesn't matter about the technology as such, because that's improving, developing all the time. It's the idea behind it that's important. Here we had, on audio, one of the world's experts in teaching perfumery. So you could open one of those files and smell the contents. And if you think you just, no, you don't just sniff it. There's a technique to smelling perfumes. You use a neutral smelling strip. And then top note. What's that first impression as you smell it? Top note. And of course, Ross, you'll know because you're into aftershave and what have you. You don't buy it then. You wait a few hours. Middle note. And of course, for high quality perfumes, the next morning is important. Base note. So there are different elements in smelling these strips to create the best perfume. And all that can be done. What I should tell you is, originally, that perfumery course was residential in the UK, took 3 weeks, cost megabucks. Just think of it, bringing all these people together, 3 weeks residential. This was transformed into a 20-hour self-instructional package sent around the world. But how about India? The good news in India is they've got a vast network of trains. So what do? They stick the equipment, the C&IT equipment, on the train and take it all over the country to those remote places. Bangladesh, they use a boat. They stick this kit on a boat and go to the remote villages, training those children, those adults. Not in the use of the technology per se. That's just a tool. That's just a vehicle. It's what they do with that tool that's most important. In Malaysia, specially equipped buses travel around the countryside. I only heard the other day that in Cambodia, they've now got a motorcycle with this satellite link that the motorcycle goes round the villages in Cambodia, stops, and suddenly people can actually download information, check the internet, read that information, print it out. Absolutely amazing. The Philippines, I was in Manila a few months ago. The proportion of text messages sent is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. They've stopped actually using notice boards in the university now because people don't read them, but they read their cell phone, they read their text message. Life is actually changing. So there's certainly no shortage, and I'm looking forward to Bibo White's presentation on some of the new technologies and how we can use them. That's just a list of the games, the simulations, the laptops, the mobile phones, the avatars, the holograms. The holograms? I suspect I'm living on borrowed time in places like this. Why do I say that? Because Prince Charles, one of the royal family in the UK, unfortunately, he couldn't be in 2 places at once. So what he did recently was send the hologram. And there he was, the hologram on the stage. Everyone knew it wasn't him. He was in London or somewhere else. But we had the technology to bring him here. Was that the most appropriate technology? Was that the most appropriate use of that medium? I'll leave you to decide, but we have the technology. We have the technology. I've no idea how much this kit cost, probably quite a lot. But the Simputer, simple computer in India, cost less than $100, US dollars. You'll all have heard of Negroponte's 1 laptop per child. That's what it looks like. And the price is coming down drastically. This is what we want to see. Happy, smiling faces, engaged, interacting. Whether it's in front of a conventional VDU or handheld, PDA or whatever. That's what we're searching for. My last challenge. We've heard about the access and the tsunami of children who will be entering colleges and universities. We've talked about the appropriate use of media. We've talked about the potential, the power of the new medium. But as good as all that is, It's the quality of the learning experience that's got to be important. And I've just given you there a couple of websites to the International Network for Quality Assurance. And one that I'm most familiar with, the UK National Quality Assurance Agency. Let me just think about the UK National Quality Assurance Agency. Tremendous site, tremendous advice, tremendous guidelines. Anyone who were to follow and try and implement those guidelines would find them extremely useful. So what I'm about to say isn't meant to be a major criticism, it's meant to be constructive. Now, whether you look through the quality assurance guidelines in Australia, or in the Philippines, or here in Hong Kong, I think you can always improve upon them. And what I've done, just for the purpose of illustration, I've taken the UK ones, which I think are very good. I think they're very good, but I think they could be strengthened in these areas in terms of preparatory materials and courses. Why do I say that? I don't like to see people fail. I don't like to see, especially adults who worked long and hard to earn that money, to pay it to the university, to tell all their friends, all their relatives that they're studying with the university. 6 weeks, 2 months later to say, I am stupid, I am dropping out, because they didn't have the required skills. Not impossible skills, they could easily learn them, but they didn't have the time to learn them before they started. What about the quality of briefing and training of tutors? Critical. Certainly my experience here while I've been in Hong Kong is I'm sorry to say this, many of the most able senior professors don't do much teaching. It's often given to others to do that teaching. And I'm afraid to say some with maybe not the best experience, qualifications, skills in the world. So maybe we can brief and train those teachers. Certainly in other countries around the world, that's what's done automatically. Workload and readability. Why do I think this is important? Well, we've got colleagues here from the Hong Kong University, and I'm working there at the present time. And I have to say, I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned. Why? Because to get a degree at Hong Kong University, a prestigious university, is it number 18 in the world? I wonder for how long, but 18 in the world. To get a degree at that university takes 6,000 hours of study. To get a degree at a British university takes 2,500 hours of study. Why do we need 6,000 hours of study time at that prestigious university in Hong Kong? Is it because the students are so dim?